We're live. How are you doing, Jalee?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good. What's going on, Sam?
I saw Sam over there. I saw Matt, and I said, "Oh Jesus, here we go."
Looks like they're already starting to argue, or
Yeah, exactly. All right, all right. Oh,
I'm gonna try to waste a little time before my because my notification will go out here just here in a minute. Should I'm hoping it's always I know like one time I had my notification. It took like 10 minutes before the notification even went out. Initializing. I know my internet has like sucked today so bad.
one. We have more snow coming in.
Yeah, I'm here. My internet has been like super bad here today. We've had like high winds, and I think it messes with my internet stuff.
Oh, of course it does.
It sucks. How you doing, Joe?
Hey, Joe.
What's going on, Shauna? So we was think I'm talking to the chat, but I was thinking we was talking about it, and we're going to do. Um, I think we're going to talk about narcissistic relationships
Okay.
and what and how it could be go into gaslighting.
Okay. Easy enough.
I mean, it's a pretty important subject, I believe. Because some relationships, Well, what is a narcissistic relationship?
Well, a narcissistic relationship is a narcissistic relationship. Do you mean like what is a narcissist?
Yeah, yeah. What is a narcissist?
Basically what narcissism is, it's characterized by traits, they have grandiose just self-importance. They want to be the best, they think they're the shit, they have to have excessive like admiration, and they lack empathy for others at all. So basically they create this big huge grandiose self-image, and what that does is
Also, my ex-husband.
hi papa, yes, we know you're a bootyologist. Sorry, I had
Um.
to look at comments for a minute.
Oh no, you're good. I swear, my internet just is sucking. I don't know what it is.
Oh, it's all good.
Uh, but so my next question would can either partner, like when it goes from a narcissist into a relationship, the narcissist basically goes into a relationship with somebody or a family member or something.
Well, I mean, it's not like narcissists go hunting for a partner. The way it works is they find someone who's a lot more passive than they are, someone who doesn't, care about relinquishing self control. So that's what they look for. Two narcissists can never be together. It just doesn't work. It's like being a crackhead and a pothead. Eh. You're chasing two different things.
Exactly. So who is more like or males or females more likely to be a narcissist?
It doesn't matter. It's not about gender at all.
Hmm. So that has no bearing in it. They need to. They need that control. I'm waiting. Advanced Wilkins syndrome.
Free to look.
Oh my God. Okay, now I can hear you again. I don't know. It just cuts out every
Okay.
now and then. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Um, we lost her again. Oh, did we
No,
lose you or me?
most
Uh,
dominatrix are narcissists and control freaks.
Oh, that's crazy. So like I was asking if it was either gender, and then you
No, gender
said
doesn't matter.
okay. So what would be the first signs of a narcissistic? Like if you go into a relationship with somebody, what would be the first signs of a narcissist?
They're a control freak.
Tell you everything you want to hear.
And they'll tell you everything you want to hear. They're really, really, really good at being everything you want. Look at it like a siren, like those mermaid sirens that, woo the men. It's the same concept. They have the sweetest voice, they look the best, they're kind of perfectionists with their looks, etc.
Hmm. Maddie said isolation and control.
Yes, babe. I mean, yes, Maddie, sorry. Yes. Absolutely. Like I said, control. Absolutely.
How much? How much? Just the way I like them. 80, 80. He
Really
cracks me up.
good.
So, do narcissists ever apologize?
Um, in the beginning, yes, because they want to make themselves look meek and mild. Give me one second, please. Sorry, you
Oh,
guys.
oh, no
How
worry.
do how do I mute this real quick?
It should be a little mic.
Oh,
Can you
I
just hit the
can't.
mic?
What? My sincerest apologies. 1 second.
Oh, you're fine. So, I stand Dr. X. Definitely, Maddie. I don't know what is up with my internet tonight, but it's been sucking balls.
Okay, sorry,
Narcissist.
y'all. Now what happened?
No, I was talking about my internet has been sucking today.
Yes. And
Uh,
Sam, like you were saying, me, 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 always full of themselves. You're absolutely right. And I can definitely say I've been guilty of that. I was very narcissistic in my younger years. And looking back, it's like, oh my God, how did I deal with myself? But
is
as
there
far as an apology, no, not a sincere one.
is I find myself doing this a lot when I talk to somebody. I use
Mhm.
I a lot. Like when I talk to somebody, like I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Does that necessarily make you a narcissist? When I mean, you don't really want to talk about I, but you have like
Well,
I'm trying to explain it the
just
best.
because a person can be self-absorbed doesn't make them a narcissist. Let's not put everybody in a bad bubble.
Hmm.
Just because okay, you have bad habits, you like to drink, it doesn't mean you're a narcissist per se.
Hmm. Okay, good. I was worried about that because I know I'm not all about I, but I do talk about I a
No,
lot.
that doesn't necessarily mean you're a narcissist.
Um, so how can the narcissist treat the person, their significant other, or in that relationship, the way they do?
What do you mean? I don't understand the question.
Like, how can the narcissist
Uh-huh.
person treat the other, like the other person in the other side of the relationship, the way they actually treat them, like narciss, like controlling and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, it goes back as far. as you and I were talking about before, then their manipulative side goes into gaslighting. They start manipulating their partner, and then you start questioning your own memory of things. And again, it's a defense mechanism, and it's just part of their chemistry. The two go hand in hand.
Hmm.
Usually, how they treat their significant other, majority, I would say, pretty good in their mind, but they're like, again, controlling everything, and when their partner isn't responding to them, like they're used to, and giving them whatever attention, then they take it to a darker turn. I
Hmm.
lost my train of thought.
Oh,
Shit.
I do that. All. That's all good.
Damn
See,
it. I
there are.
had somewhere I was really going with that. Oh. But then, when their partner says, okay, I'm done with you, then the love bombing starts.
Hmm.
Then the manipulation really starts. And if that doesn't work, well, then they're just going to make you fight with everybody, including yourself,
Hmm.
until you just are so tired you give in.
Is that like when is gaslighting different than manipulation?
No, it's the same thing. The only thing with gaslighting, it's I'm trying to really think how to put this. The gaslighting is basically, like I said, the manipulation tactic.
Hmm.
That's how they maintain control. And I forgot the other part you asked me.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh. Basically, I asked that. What's the difference between gaslighting and manipulation?
Manipulation can be pretty light, honestly.
Mm.
When you're talking gaslighting, you're talking to somebody that is taking manipulation on a completely different level, because they start to sow seeds of doubt in their victim. They start making them question their own reality. Yes, Maddie, you were absolutely right. It's a tactic, again, just to gain power over their other, or
Mm. That's that's actually pretty devious. Does the I think I'm. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I was going to say, does the narcissist see themselves as being the superior person?
Yes, because they are so insecure. I mean, here's the bottom line. Their insecurities run deeper than you'll ever understand. So they have to build themselves into this person that is godlike. And
Hmm.
they want everybody else around them to believe their own bullshit.
Would like friends and family, like say you and this, say you was trying to leave a narcissistic person, would it be hard to actually leave them, or would like your friends and family want to step in and say, oh well, he's a good guy, look, or do the
Well,
other people see them?
the family aspect of it, I'm not even going to go into that side because that's a whole different topic. But okay, repeat it one more time to me so I can gather my thought. I am so sorry. I'm just tired.
Oh no, um, does the narcissist? Hang on, wait. I
Oh, is it
said,
hard to get out of a relationship with them?
oh yes, yes.
Yes, it is. And you're not going to fix a narcissist. There's nothing you can do. There's not a pill. They have to reach such a low that they know they need to change. So
Sam said,
trying to
oh go.
leave trying to leave one can get really, really ugly, because then they'll send flying monkeys to your family. And what that means is they're like, so and so's crazy. Billy, that she's out of her mind. They start putting those seeds of doubt even into your own family. When a
Wow.
narcissist gets their roots and claws into you, it goes a lot deeper than just you.
So a narcissist, when they really sink into somebody,
Mhm.
they can be like a really damaging person.
They are the worst, especially a covert narcissist, because you think that they're the good guys, and in reality, they're not.
Can you explain what a covert narcissist is?
A covert narcissist is someone that will make you believe that they're your best friend. They know exactly what you're going through. They've been there. There's no one that understands them more than you. You never see them doing anything bad on the surface, because they're too busy laying low passively, and still manipulating the whole situation like a puppeteer.
Hmm.
You never see them coming.
Wow. That's they that or what's the IQ like? So there is a difference between what did you just the covert narcissist
Mhm.
and a narcissist.
Oh, they're all narcissists. It's just what degree.
Hmm. Is
Even
there
in the
what?
even in the DSM-5 that we go through in medical school, even 20 years ago, 30 years ago, they still had 7 definitions of narcissism. And they're only building and building.
Wow. So could you tell us a few of them
What do you mean?
of the other types of narcissists?
Oh my goodness.
I mean, just maybe a couple
You
more
already
because
said, now look, let's stick to this because if we go down this rabbit hole, it's gonna be 11 o'clock my time. So we
I
can break it
understand.
up another time.
Oh, definitely. It's just super interesting because I never thought about it like that because there's different. There's it's nobody's the same, and it's just
Right.
different. It's it's interesting to hear like different levels of a narcissist person, but it's a lot deeper than I actually realized.
Oh, like I said, you could go down an entire because you can go down to communal narcissism, antagonistic narcissism, malignant narcissism. I mean, how far you want to go?
Hmm. So
It's
what are
way too far.
what are some of the tools narcissists use when they start? I guess it's like certain traits about them that they like. It kind of each narcissist uses the same technique, or is every narcissist use a different technique to get that control?
It all depends on the person they're working with because if you're in a relationship with a narcissist, you're really not going to see it until you start questioning their authority, until you start making them fear things, until you make one of your friends even become a potential threat to your relationship. That's the only time you're going to see them.
Wow. Um, do you know any of the thought patterns of a narcissist? What their thought patterns might look like?
It's the same as you and me. Like I said, the only time they really, really come into play is if you shake their cage.
Hmm.
Because you
And
could just go on for years and years and years and years with the same person and not even know how depraved and how dark that person is because you
hmm,
haven't knocked them off their block yet.
wow. So is there? Well, I was gonna say. So I'm gonna move on to gaslighting for a minute because it's pretty interesting to me also. But what is gaslighting like? What is it like? If you're being gaslit by somebody, what are some of the signs you might look for to be able to see that gaslighting
I
from
mean,
another?
like I said, you start questioning your own, I mean, your own memories, your own sanity. You have a distorted view, a distorted perception. You start becoming very uh, you start becoming very insecure. You're like, well, God, maybe I am this bad because, well, if I wasn't, so and so wouldn't yell at me and so would be happy with me because I can't make them happy no matter what I do.
So
That's how
that's
you
kind of
start becoming.
brutal on the person that's being actually gaslit and
Absolutely.
like
Yeah.
that.
It's the worst of the worst. Like I said, I'll only speak from experience.
Mhm.
I've been on both sides of it. And it is the most maddening roller coaster from hell that you'll ever experience. But nobody has a perfect relationship. Let's get it right.
Yeah,
Just because
definitely.
you may fight with your husband, you may fight with your wife, whoever it is, it doesn't mean they're narcissists. Just maybe means they're tired of your shit. But
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it when you're in a toxic relationship, it doesn't matter what type it is. It's shit stew. It's just toxic, and it's yucky.
Let's see. How much to tell them just get blood on my floor when you do it? What? 80? I don't understand what 80 was talking about with that.
I have no idea. Oh, but 80, 80. The reason why you're a hermit is because you're kind of like most of us. You can't stand what the fucking world has become. It's better to stay indoors, honey.
I was kind of looking at the chat for a second.
Yeah, I
Had
looked
to,
over for a sec. Hi, Opal.
I know they like to. I like to have them also interact.
Oh, that's part of it.
See, see, seeing if anybody had a question. Okay. So, is there different types of gaslighting?
No, hun, gaslighting is gaslighting. I mean, that's all it is. Now, there's
Hmm.
different types of control that narcissists use. One would be getting your family involved, having your own family who's known you all your life question who you are, things of that nature. There's, maybe they don't like that Bob at your job looks at you crazy. So now they're gonna wreak havoc in your job, to make sure you're not gonna go talk to Bobby after work and have a beer. There's there's so many different ways, but gaslighting is finite.
Hmm. So, how would you break? How would you? My other question would be, how would you get out of that type of relationship? Is there can like I know a lot of times, Flame. I was like, um, a lot of times when you're in a relationship like that, you don't see you're in that type of relationship. Yeah, you question your reality and all other
Mhm.
types of things. But how do you like see it for what it actually is? What is actually being done to you?
Like I said, until their mask starts slipping off a little bit and people start kind of reading through their bullshit and they're knocked off their block and they start having conflict, you really don't see it.
Hmm.
And to answer your question, again, how do you get out of it? It's ugly. When you do it, you have to break ties completely. I mean, zero contact means zero contact
Hmm.
because if you give a mouse a cookie, it's going to want a whole cake, right? Same thing applies. If you even talk to them for a second, that's letting them in. And if you let them in for a second, they already know how to manipulate you. They've been doing it for years. This is nothing new. This can go for your mother, your father, your uncle, your significant other. It's all the same.
Wow. I think Cassidy said something about she had to move or something. She had to. Hang on.
What happened, Cassidy? Sorry, I must have missed something.
Yeah, she. I thought she said she had to move across the country just to get away from a narcissist.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, Miss Maddie, for you, if you have to keep in contact because a court order, they can't court order you to converse with this person. The only thing that they can court order you to do is, i.e., in lieu of kids, say you have to bring them or whatever the case may be. You don't have to talk to this motherfucker, okay? No one ever can tell you that. So there's not a thing of what if you have to communicate. No, you really don't. And if you want to take it a step further, there are so many pro bono attorneys out there that would be more than happy to be your voice for anybody. You don't have to talk and deal with these people.
You got the Fifth Amendment, and what if you even if you go to court, they say you don't even have to talk. So I
Mhm.
mean,
That's right. They can't make you. And if it comes down to say, like I said, in lieu of kids, you can even a guardian ad litem can be appointed and can speak on your behalf. It all depends.
say you do leave a narcissist. This kind of brings up a question for me. If you do leave a narcissist, and if you've been in a long relationship with them, they
Uh-huh.
kind of know you pretty well, correct?
Exactly my point from a second ago. Absolutely. They've been doing it for years. So they
And
are
if
the pro at it.
and if you talk to them for just like a few minutes, whatever, are they able to get their hooks back into you like that?
Well, yeah, like I told you, if you give a mouse a cookie, well, it's going to keep
Mm.
getting hungry and it's going to keep coming back for more. Once you let them in, if they even think that they struck at a heart chord, they're coming with blood. And they're not going to let go. And then the love bombing starts again. And then you get in this honeymoon phase where everything's great and wonderful until what happens? Their mask flips again.
Can a narcissist ever change?
Absolutely. Without doubt. But it's got to take, I mean, the worst moment you could ever imagine in your life. I mean, it's got to take something so tragic, so intense that they start disbelieving their own shit. They start coming out of their own bullshit, their own egoism. And they're like,
Hmm.
fuck, if I don't want to lose XYZ, I better start working on me and stop telling everybody else what to do with their life and, get my shit together.
So that leads me to the question: What? How
Yes,
does a
ma'am.
person be? How does a person start becoming a narcissist to begin with?
They usually grow up in a narcissistic household. They have the fivefold, family, everything down from the scapegoat to, the narcissistic mother controlling everything. They usually are born into it and they learn it as a defense mechanism also.
Cassidy says I have an ex-boyfriend narcissist who did DV to
Mm,
me. Still
okay.
tried to call me. I can't talk to him because, like Short Bus just said, he will try to get back with me. He's very manipulative.
See, Cassidy, you already know it. But, one thing that comes to my mind is you mentioning it means it's still really highly affecting you very closely at the moment. You can as well talk to many pro bono attorneys. Like, if there's any reason why he would need to reach out to you, don't ever, ever, ever have contact. Zero contact means zero contact.
I believe Papa Duke said I left all my possessions and everything when I disappeared and never bothered me about losing all my it for my sanity.
I
Oh,
get what
for
you're saying, Papa. Yeah. And it doesn't matter what you had to leave behind, sweetie. The freedom that you had the moment you let go of that and let go of the dead weight. Yeah, it didn't mean anything because the greatest reward is getting your sanity back, having a normal and not being in a state of duress 24/7 when you're in fight or flight.
so they basically a narcissist basically plays with your mind more than do they also physically abuse also, or is it just more mental games?
They can. I mean, anything's possible. But I mean, it's all mind games. It's just the form of control, the method used. One could be physical abuse, another could be mental abuse. It could be financial abuse. It could be any kind of restraint, basically.
Hmm. I didn't even know who I was really. I had to learn who I was and so you kind of when you're in this type of relationship, you kind of lose who you are.
That is the biggest thing because that's the first thing a narcissist will strip of you is who you are. Because they don't want who you are. They want who they want and who they want you to be.
Hmm.
So the first thing you start getting back after clarity, after you're like, oh shit, it really didn't fucking happen that way. Damn. And you start gaining back your sanity. That's when you start building yourself back. But you're never who you were before. You're just a better version and a
Hmm.
smarter version.
So basically, Maddie said they just want a puppet.
Yes, dear, that's exactly what they want. To a degree, to a degree. Again, not all I don't want y'all to take this the wrong way when I say it. I'm not saying not all narcissists are bad, but to the degree they are. I mean, I don't think an- anybody at all wants to be bad. Again, it was a learned trait. And sometimes we also need to decide, can you help them? Can you not help them? Is it worth it? How it's so deep.
1A2 play said mental abuse will fuck you up.
Whew, amen. Testify.
Sam has do narcissists normally understand what they are doing in the moment?
No. This was it, and you know what, Sam? Thank you for bringing that up because that's kind of where I was going a moment ago. Not all narcissists know what they're doing. Some of them don't even know that they're narcissists. They just think that their way is right, and no one should question it because it's worked so far, and it's kind of like that. You know, sometimes they really don't know. Sometimes it can not be narcissistic. It could just be maturity.
Hmm.
I mean, there's so many different variables.
So, do they when will they ever, if when they're narcissists and they don't get help for it, will they ever find that perfect relationship that they're looking for?
The only way that they would find that is if they found one sole person that doesn't have any family in the world, nobody that really would care or rock their boat, that wouldn't question what they say, that basically would be their puppet, their yes person. I have seen a person like that, and it's sad because they don't realize that they're codependent and they're just repeating the same regurgitated shit that their abuser's saying to them. It's a vicious, savage circle.
Well, Cassidy, I don't know, Matt. He keeps calling me. I wouldn't doubt he is in another relationship. He cheated on me the whole time we were together.
And one play too, they do have a soul. Like I said, true sick narcissist. I mean, if you're talking Ted Bundy's, I mean, okay, that's a different story. But generally, narcissists are just as confused as everybody fucking else, and they don't have a clue how to put it together either. Not giving them a platform, or an excuse for it. But sometimes it goes a lot deeper than that. You can't just black and white it, I guess is my point.
Hmm.
And Cass, I'm sorry to hear what you're going through.
So, and I think you said earlier, manipulation and gaslighting, are they about the same?
Basically, I mean, it's well, how do I put it? It's all deviant. It's not good. Just like if a person's crazy, they're just fucking crazy. Who cares what letters are on the back of it? Manipulation is manipulation. The only thing that changes when it turns into gaslighting is it's taken to a deeper and darker level because then it's about their survival and not yours.
Hmm. So, what- can manipulation lead to grooming or gaslighting, however you want to call it?
Again, it's just a form of control. Whether it's all grooming. If you really think about it, pedophiles are narcissists too. Even regular narcissists, they have that control. The pedophile wants that control. It's that drive. It's like I said, just it depends on the level.
And if you have been groomed, if I'm just talking to chat or you or anybody, no, it's
Mhm.
not your fault. They have been groomed.
No, not at all. You can't, it's not like you're stupid. It's not like, oh, I should have seen that coming. No, these motherfuckers are good at what they do. It's short of being their life profession. So it's not your fault. It's not like you should have seen it coming or you're stupid or whatever. Shit happens.
Are certain types of personalities that are more or less successful? Can't talk to narcissists.
Yeah,
Success. You know it. You can read it.
susceptible. Yeah.
Yeah,
80, I
successful.
mean, yeah, you're A-type personalities, and I'm considered an A-type personality. A-type personality people are just, really aggressive, even socially, economically, in their social circles. They're the heavy go-getters, etc. They are highly, highly, percentage to be a narcissist because you have to kind of be in order to get where you are. And the people more susceptible to narcissists are your codependent people, your people pleasers, your black sheep children, the ones that always wanted acceptance and never got it, that try all too hard to the point to where it's almost embarrassing. Those people are the very most susceptible.
I was a kid that trusted the wrong people. Are there medications that can subdue narcissist tendencies?
I mean, you can use antipsychotics. I mean, Seroquel works well, but then again, you're basically just putting the person in a state of uh, a walking corpse at that point, animated. Antipsychotics do work well, but then it's not something you could fix with a chemical. Remember, narcissists are taught this is something that happens when they're growing up. It's not something that can be fixed with a pill. It's more sociological or sociological. Oh my god, I can't talk.
Oh, you
Ow.
you you stealing that from me.
Huh?
You taking my not being able to talk from me.
I
You-
know. Goodness. A
No,
tired
go
brain
ahead.
can do that.
Go ahead with what you were saying.
I I forgot.
Uh, well, is it a addiction to them?
For who?
For the narcissist or the person that's gaslighting?
No, it's not. No, no, no. It's more like a learned skill, like a trait. You know, it's not. mm, I wouldn't say it's like that. It's not an addiction to them. It's not something that they get a thrill out of because most narcissists, if they make it through the end of the tunnel and they come out better every day and they're winning and their relationships are getting successful, it's not something that they're addicted to. They're not addicted to the chaos, but certain people can be addicted to the drama. But
Hmm.
that's a different entity altogether.
Wow, that's that. I never thought about it like that, like the drama part of it.
Yeah.
Shorty, ask my last question. Let me go back here.
Let me
Is there
address
any?
let me real quick, let me address Papa, though. He said I
Definitely.
became weak when I was disabled, and that messed up my head too. Incredibly so, it had to have. It had to have. I mean, and being, I'm not saying there's this big divide between men and women, but being a man and going through that and then losing, part of your body altogether, you had to be a complete clusterfuck. I mean, my goodness, that was a totally different hell altogether. And you're right, they prey on weakness.
Is there any way to get a narcissist to understand and realize what they are doing?
You have to be really strong. And you can't give them an ultimatum, but when you start backing away and you don't back down and you start doing better for yourself, they come around sometimes, and it has to be worth, I mean, they have to love you more than they love themselves. If that resonates with anybody. I mean, that's the bottom line. It has to be something so wanted, something so needed in their life that they will relinquish all control, throw their hands up in the air, and eventually say, "You know what? Fuck it, let's work on this." But that's a
Hmm.
rarity. That's a rarity.
So
Don't use
they're
that as
like,
an excuse for everybody, okay?
so that's like it's. Is it a rare thing for them to actually get help? Like to actually, say, well, I
You would
see that.
you would have a better chance of winning, the Powerball at 1.1 million right now than for that to happen. But it does happen.
Hmm.
Any creature, any human, it doesn't matter if you got a heartbeat and you have compassion or empathy or love for anybody, you can learn to change. It doesn't matter what you grew up in. It's not an excuse for, bad behavior.
So you can't just talk to them about it.
No, because nothing you can say is gonna sound smarter than anything that's already in their head. All they're hearing is wah 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 wah. Please shut up. Wah 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 wah. Shut up. Goddamn. That's all they're thinking. It's gonna have to come from them and only them.
And it's hard for them to see themselves for who they are.
It's the hardest thing in the world for them. They could probably quicker run a marathon, beat every goddamn great Olympist, and yeah, that would be easier for them than to be real with themselves.
Hmm. That's actually pretty wild. Uh, I think I've ran out of questions.
It's
Right.
all good. It's all good.
So,
Hey,
but if you want to, if there's anything else you want to talk, I guess gaslighters are liars, and how to gaslighters smooth. Okay, how was a gaslighter smooth out their situations? Like, say with, say, oh, they're you gaslight somebody, and then they kind of see, oh, I'm being gaslight, and they try to like smooth it. You said like love bombing and stuff
uh,
like that.
well, basically what they do is they will talk circles around you. They'll twist anything and everything that you said to suit their purpose. They'll be like, "You remember this one time and you behaved this way? Well, I was right, wasn't I?" They will use that one fucking excuse to make their whole goddamn debate plausible in your brain. By that time, after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours or longer, you're so fucking exhausted that you really do start questioning it. And then they're slowly winning and they're slowly winning. And then things are getting back to normal, but you're losing more and more yourself.
Hmm.
Like I said, it's like a snake eating its own tail.
Another thing that a narcissist do is when you bring up an issue you're having with them, go, oh, well, you do this.
Right. The one
Like,
thing that they will do is always, they'll always bring it back on you. Because as long as you're looking like the bad guy and they're the good guy, because they're just so understanding and everything, it's got to be you, Billy. Um, the first thing, yeah, they'll confuse you with it. And that's their
hmm,
first offense. Well, I'm not the one screaming. Why are you screaming? Well, you remember what you did last week? And it's just never ending.
hmm. And when you lose your reality, what who you are, and the reality you're in, that will really mentally hurt the person. If you like lose yourself and your reality, and you question, like, you don't even trust yourself, do you?
No, not at all. Because you've heard it so many times and then they've gotten through to your family and then your family's like, this so and so's a, they're crazy now, I can't believe it. Before you, they used to be so in control and maybe now that it's nuts. Oh, and it looks like 80. Let me see, where's your question go? Because it was a really good one. Oh, there it is. Are narcissists above average intelligence? Without doubt. Your average narcissist borders about 115 to 120.
Hmm.
They have to be very smart to keep this going. They couldn't be no dummy and keep this going day in, day out to the lengths that they do.
That's actually wild. Is it just when they're are they like that with every person?
No, no, because they don't give a shit about every person. Not every person is important to them. The way a narcissist looks at anybody in their life is like pieces on a chessboard. You all serve
Mm.
your purpose, and the moment you don't, they take you off the board.
Is it easy for them to lose that detach, or did they ever have a attachment to the person to begin with?
Yes, I believe so. In cases that I've read, different patient letters. Yeah, I think so.
So they actually cared about a person, and but
That's
because
usually what, okay, I guess the way to answer this, they get transfixed on somebody, they fall in love, and before they could be mild mannered and borderline normal. But something happens when they fall in love and a psychosis takes over. It becomes an obsession for them. They want that person with them 24/7. And if they're not, they just get so freaked out, for fear of abandonment, or they may not like them, or they don't have their clutches in them too deep yet, whatever the case may be.
so do they ever get tired of the person they're they're they're
Yes.
okay, go.
When they usually get tired of the person is when the person is boring them. They're not waxing their ego anymore. They lost their love luster, for the person. They're not as enamored. They don't feed. They don't feed the narcissist enough.
Hmm.
So that I lost my train of thought. Sorry.
Oh, you're saying they don't feed
Yeah,
the
that's when they
narcissist
will
enough?
bore. Right. That's when they'll bore the person. and then they'll go on to someone else, and they'll do it while they're still with their, I guess like a Linus blanket. They're not going to let
Oh,
go of their current, their current amour, whatever, victim, whatever you want to call it. And then the moment they find the other person and that person is feeding them again, guess what happens to you? All your pain, all your effort, all your work just went down in the shitter. And that's exactly what they thought of you.
mm. So that's basically throw you to the side and move on to the next one.
Basically, yes. Good night, Maddie. Much love, sweetie.
Oh, definitely. Thank you, Maddie, for coming back by. Definitely. Well, do you have anything else you want to say about a narcissist gaslighter?
No, not from me. My brain is on overload. It's like I can smell it burning.
Oh, definitely. I understand. I'm the same way. My mom would tell me what a great guy my ex was. Meanwhile, I was living in complete hell.
That's what they do, pumpkin. Remember, they're gonna throw the flying monkeys over there. They're gonna make, your family question you. And of course, they're gonna be mama's best friend because that's who holds the reins and whose fingers on the pulse. That's who they're gonna buddy hustle because that goes right into their defense. And again, I'm sorry, sweetie.
Almost time for a catch guy. Oh, okay, Papa. But it's just like
It's
it's.
past my bedtime too.
Oh, yeah, it's really past my bedtime. Well, actually,
Hey,
no. I'm up all night anyway. So
well, hey, you guys, again, Short Bus, I appreciate you always thinking of me. And I had just a wonderful talk. Much love to all y'all that came. I wish I can give every single one of you a hug, some more than others. But I'll put this out there again. If any of you or anybody that really needs somebody, and even if they don't have insurance, whatever the case may be, my email is always open.
mm.
I may not have a lot of time, but what I don't, I will make.
Now, definitely, if anybody just make a post on locals, and I'll and like say something and tag me in it, and I'll throw the email in there or the
Definitely.
email address in there, or maybe even jalee
Yeah.
and or message me. I'm very easy to get in contact with. I hope.
Same here. And mine, my email address is on my profile on Locals. You guys can find me even on YouTube, Instagram. I think they're all included. If not, I'll make sure they're updated later.
Definitely. I thought I saw it on there, but I'm not 100% sure.
All right, but I got to get to bed, y'all. And I know it's even later for you.
Oh, I really appreciate you, and hopefully, we'll come back up and change the subject and go into something else awesome.
We can put a baking show on next week.
Oh, I definitely can't do that.
All
I,
right,
I'm
y'all. Well, I'm taking off. Good night. Buena noche,
bye.
amici. Ciao.
Uh, how's everybody doing? That was actually she's awesome. Love all you guys too. And Short Bus, thank you for making part of this, making this happen. Oh no, it all goes out to Jaylee. I appreciate her 100%. Hopefully, I'm saying her name right. Jaylee. Jaylee. Autocorrect. Well, I hope y'all have a good evening and come back. I think I have an interview tomorrow with a rock star, so that'll be pretty interesting, I believe. Oh, I see her. Well, hootie not everybody. Let's wait for the next sketch. That's what I'm waiting for. Bye.